This is MONSTA 3.0 timeline. Basically, this is what is our plan for the next few years. 2 weeks ago, we just celebrated our 13th anniversary. So, we formed the company back in 2009, and sekarang ni baru masuk tingkatan 1. So, still young. The company is still young, yeah, right? So, originally we're supposed to get into our next phase, what we call the third phase, after 2019, after the movie. But the pandemic hit us, so we need to halt our plan, but we still need to move forward, right? So, just to recap a little bit about our phases, this is how we see ourselves as MONSTA. The first phase is what we call the MONSTA 1.0. You guys might know us as, and this is our startup era. You know, kita baru belajar macam nak berjalan, baru belajar macam nak buat business. At that point of time, we only focus on production. We believe that we're only a production company. We have only one single IP, BoBoiBoy. We focus on TV series, and we mainly on TV. And in single market as well, only in Malaysia. At that point of time, kita bercita-cita hanya nak create animation, hanya nak entertain. We don't think about this branding, we don't think about merchandising, we don't even think about creating the business. I still remember those times. Nak buat the next episode, we just think, okay, banyak kita perlukan duit untuk buat the next season, dengan the next episode, you know. Asalkan we can terus berkarya. And then this is MONSTA 2.0. When we started to realize that from the TV series, thank you to Media Prima from TV3, thank you so much. We got highest rated at that point of time, 1.7 million TV series. I still remember, I think hari Ahad, pukul 7 malam. And then we start to realize, because of the popularity, people start to demand for the next step, which naturally is the movie business, right? So we start to go to cinema business. In 2016, we released BoBoiBoy movie yang pertama. We got 16 million at that point of time, is record breaking. And the second movie, 2019, 30 million, Malaysia is also a record breaking. And then we start to realize we are no longer a production company. We are no longer an animation company only. We are a character company. What do I mean by that is that we as a company, we represent these popular characters, like BoBoiBoy, they're the followers, right? So from this popular character, you can create brand out of it. You can create products out of it. You can represent other brands out of it. You can endorse other products, right? And this character, because we actually pitched to Japan. We met with TPC, the Pokemon company, and then they kata, why not? If you're a character company, you represent us as well. So those who don't know, we actually the master licensee of Pokemon. So a lot of this situation around Malaysia, we are the one that to work together with TPC to bring Pokemon to you in Malaysia punya market. And 2016 is where the YouTube digital space start to come. And we start to realize that not only we can put our trailer and marketing, we can also reach to our viewers. Like I said just now, in TV space, 1.7 million is a huge rating at a point of time. But now, in MONSTA channels, daily we have 4 million views. Daily, we have now 10 billion views. So there's a lot of potential in digital space. So in 2.0, we start to go into digital channels, and then we also start to grow beyond just Malaysia. Indonesia, mainly is more Malay-speaking market, like Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and also Brunei. So this is 3.0, supposed to happen in 2022, but because of the pandemic, we need to halt it. This is what we call, we need to get to the next era, multiple IPs. We cannot rely only on BoBoiBoy. We need to go into more markets. We have the vision to go deeper into C market. We need to go into Asia Pacific region. We also need to go into multiple forms. It cannot only be on screen. It needs to be in physical form, comic, mainan, you know, even digital, even in metaverse. So this is 3.0. And for BoBoiBoy, this is high demand. You know, from 2019, the easiest thing to do is just to create the next TV series, BoBoiBoy Galaxy season yang kedua, BoBoiBoy movie 3. But the question is, if you keep on continuing only to do BoBoiBoy, lepas BoBoiBoy movie 3, then movie 4, then movie 5, then movie 6, people will get bored, right? So even though the BoBoiBoy is a big brand, high demand, but we understand that we cannot rely only on BoBoiBoy, and any great IP will eventually face a stagnancy, and worse, kalau we don't do anything about it, it will go into a decline. So we have to be more proactive daripada reactive, right? So we decided to do a strategic pause. We paused BoBoiBoy. The last season of BoBoiBoy was back in 2018. So tahun depan dan 5 tahun BoBoiBoy tak ada in form of TV series. The movie dah 4 tahun dah tak ada. Tapi the popularity of BoBoiBoy is still there. Shows that BoBoiBoy punya brand is still very strong. But doing this strategy, we can kill two birds with one stone. One, we can work on a new IP. Second, we can actually rethink, create a hunger, create a demand for BoBoiBoy. But for our hardcore fans, they can still continue, they can still continue following cerita BoBoiBoy in the comic form. Okay, this is Mechamato. So this is the next IP, right? So we introduced Mechamato. We've been working for Mechamato heavily since 2016, I think. And this is the father of BoBoiBoy. Basically, they belong in one universe. It's called the MONSTA Sphera Universe. For those who yang hardcore tahu dia sebagai Power Sphera Universe lah, because it's too long. So kita kata, okay, it's only Sphera Verse. So in this Sphera Verse, every hero that dia ada dia punya own Power Sphera. So kalau BoBoiBoy ada Ultrabot, Mechamato ada, Amato ada Mechabot, right? And Mechamato is about Amato, a young boy. He became a master to destroy a robot called Mechabot. And Mechabot ni ada unique ability to turn daily items into high-tech devices. I will show you how. Okay, this is the kuasa dia, kuasa mechanized. Kalau Ultrabot dia kuasa elemental, right? So this kuasa mechanized. So tu Amato pegang kuali, so Mechabot boleh combine, boleh mechanize menjadi Mecha Shield. This is Amato, dia dah lambat pergi sekolah, so dia nak cepat, dia mechanize dengan basikal jadi Mechabite. So this concept we thought is very interesting, not for us, but for kids, right? So kids love to imagine these things. And ultimately, Amato can combine dengan Mechabot to become Mechamato, hence the title lah, Mechamato. And together, they will need to fight robots. So these are like the weekly robots or daily robots they need to fight. Not only they need to fight, because we don't want the IP to be like action and violent, right? So they can capture, and the way they capture the robots creative. Ada kala dia kena lawan, ada kala dia kena outsmart the robot. And then they need not only to capture, but to neutralize and turn the bad robots into good robots with the help of Mara, Pian, Deep, Ulang, and Billy. Itu kawan-kawan dia lah. So we'll talk about rewind a little bit about how we got the idea pasal Mechamato, right? So we always have an interest to develop a robot-based IP because I personally like Transformers, you know, Doraemon, Gundam. So we had this idea. If you look at the concept, always either a boy and a robot. But this robot is not unique enough because if you go to market like Midcom, like Kidscreen, thousands and thousands of robot-based IP. If MONSTA need to do something, it must be unique. It must be able to stand out. And how can we get a unique idea? So we have been toying with this idea for 3 years, but we didn't get that unique idea, right? So I was moving out back in 2017. I was moving out to a new house at the point of time, and I realized my kids they tengah main dengan a lot of these boxes. They imagining themselves as naik tank, they naik kereta, they naik kapal. So it dawned on me, why not this robot is actually a Power Sphera, macam Autobot, but they had the ability to mechanize, to turn their imagination into reality. So that is where we start to develop the idea heavily, and to be what we come today lah. And now, this is the title, Mechamato in Japanese language. We started to develop and pitching to our partners around the globe. And at that point of time, we're working with TPC, we're working with Tommy, we're working with Bandai, we're relationship with Bandai. So we're pitching this idea. And our Japanese partners kata macam, you know, you should try this in Japan market. And then I thought it's very, because they kata, this is a very tough market, right? So we thought to ourselves, if we can enter Japan market, and I think this product can grow globally, because in Japan market, the anime is everywhere. Good concept. What we have seen is only maybe 10%, maybe even 5% out there. There's a lot more animation out there in Japan, right? So they challenged us, so we took up the challenge, and we believe you can make it to Japan, you can make it globally. And Alhamdulillah, we pitched the idea to Cartoon Network, Asia Pacific, to our good friend Leslie at that point of time, with CN, and we managed to convince them. And now, you can watch in bahasa Jepun, Mechamato bahasa Jepun. And not only in Cartoon Network, but 1st October, Mechamato will be available in Netflix, in Japan dub as well. So you guys can watch it as well. So right now, Mechamato, the first 13 episodes already been sold into 65 countries. We got into the sales mode only for 1 year. We managed to get 65 countries. And we've been told by our distributor in European market and a lot of part of the world is Jetpack. Jetpack is the #1 distributor in the world in content, animation content, kids content. And they told us 13 is not enough. You know, they need 26 episodes. Now we have 26 episodes. We believe we can go into more markets. There are a lot of interest from China. There's a lot of interest from European market. A lot of interest in the US market as well. We believe this concept can go even further into other territories, more than these 65 countries. Okay, so this is Mechamato movie. So we just got the date on 8th of December. Because you clap so loud, kan? So make sure that you free yourself, save the date. 1 hari bulan Disember, we're going to invite you for the gala premiere. So insyaAllah 1 bulan 12, cuti sekolah 8 bulan Disember, we're going to launch it. And the first wave, Mechamato for me, I told my team, if Mechamato can do so well, berkali-kali pada wawang video pun, it doesn't mean anything for me personally, because MONSTA punya product needs to go beyond Malaysia punya border. Even though tahun ni, for you guys, Malaysia punya market and Malay speaking market, end of the year, but next year our biggest challenge, how do we get this into Japan market? How do we get this in Korean market? How do we get this into the US market? Kalau tak banyak, sedikit. Kalau tak 100, 10 pun jadi. But we need to keep on progressing. This is our challenge. This is my challenge to the team, and I really hope that we can make it. Okay, enough about Mechamato, now about Papa Pipi. Even though for BoBoiBoy, we go to Mechamato, but some interesting thing happened during the pandemic. If you still remember, 2019, we introduced Pipi Zola as the daughter of Papa, waktu tu, and the audience loved it. Like Pipi Zola, nama dia panjang, Putri Intan Payung Indah, Zulaika, Odelia, apa tu, Ladesha, Abshari, right? Yes. So, panjang, and people love it. And then when the pandemic happened, so we thought to ourselves, you know, because there's a lot of PSAs out there to the adults, to their primary schools maybe, but the kids, macam dia nak faham tentang bahaya COVID-19. How do you talk to 5 years old? How do you talk to 4-year-old, right? So we decided to do this PSA, and it really went viral on digital space. We work with TV site as well. Managed to only not include Malaysia, but also TV Indonesia as well, and also TV India to Disney India, I think, at that point of time, right? And surprising very well. And then Papa punya meme pun went very 7,000, 8,000 share. So we went viral because of the PSA and the good messages that we created through Papa Pipi. And after that, we got a lot of interest. We worked with some other brands, but one of the highlights is we managed to work with UNDP. Because Papa Pipi for us is not a brand that only entertains, but cares so much about health, about well-being, about the planet. So we work with UNDP to buat a program jaga sungai river punya conservation, and it did really well as well. So up to today, we have 700 million views of Papa Pipi on digital channel. Right, this is huge number. And we're going to push, inshallah, by end of the year for 1 billion views. And this is mainly on TikTok, and this is only short format, no actual like more than 5 minutes. Kadang-kadang 2 minit, kadang-kadang 1 minute, 30 second, ada even 7 seconds, but it went very, very viral on TikTok and Shops as well. And we also, some of the episodes we combine it, we add it on TV, on Media Prima Station, good ratings, we got into Astro as well, go into trending as well. And the concept, we have more focusing on family, father and daughter, husband and wife, and definitely this is not a preschool show. So when we start to talk with the idea, we want to make sure that this is not only a preschool show, it is a family show. And from this, success, we see that there's a huge potential to become a full-fledged IP. So we decided, why not we go into full-fledged IP? And in 2033, we're not going to release Papa Pipi. What we're going to start developing the prototype. We're going to start to work on the materials. We're going to start with the pilot episode first. So just a sneak peek about Papa Pipi. So kalau BoBoiBoy ada ocok pasal elemental, Amato ada make up pasal mechanized, Papa Pipi, dia ada Chimu board. So who's Chimu board? Chimu board is a baby Power Sphera. So very cute, very cuddly, kawan baik dengan Pipi lah. So kuasa dia, kuasa Chimu board ni is kuasa simulation. Sebab tu nama dia Chimu, sebab dia pelat. S itu menjadi C. So kalau instead of kuasa simulasi, kuasa simulasi. So they always pelat S dengan C. And kuasa they actually to turn, for example, this whole auditorium into a spaceship, into a volcanic punya area. So this is kuasa simulation. And dia ada rival dia, because every show, walau BoBoiBoy ada adu-adu, Papa Pipi mesti ada someone yang jadi dia punya musuh lah in a way. Tapi musuh dia baik. So this Pupu the cat. So ada Papa, Pipi, Pupu. Nama dia Pupu sebab dia suka membuang berata-rata. So that's how they got the name lah, Pupu the cat. Alright. So Pupu ni yang selalunya buat kacau, dia tak dengar cakap, dia just a typical cat. Selalu buat hal. So kalau dia masuk dunia simulasi, Pupu akan jadi the main yang nakal, yang jahat, yang dia kena lawan. So I show you the example. Ni dia logo, sini Papa Pipi. Okay, that's the normal living room, Papa. And then Cimu buat also simulasi, and then dia jadi spaceship. So the sofa is still there, tapi in the concept of spaceship lah. So over here, we can actually teach the children about moon and stars, solar system, black hole, right? So not only is entertainment, but it's also educational. So it's entertainment punya IP basically. And kalau dia buat proses simulasi dalam dunia fantasy, so dia akan jadi dekat castle, and this is King Cinderella. So King Cinderella, so basically kalau cerita tu kan macam you kena Cinderella hilang kasut, tapi ni Papa dia hilang kasut. Sebab the story is that we had this idea that actually Papa dia pergi surau, and tu kasut dia hilang. Rupanya Pupu yang ambil. So Pupu pergi ambil and he met somebody took it, and then dia to search adventure, cari lawan Pupu the dragon dekat ada Mount of Bumbung, kat ada Bumbung di sebelah mana. And this is Papa Pipi kalau dia simulasi dalam caveman punya era. So before this episode, dia actually tengah argue siapa patut buang sampah. So dia kata okay, Papa ke Pipi. So dia main rock paper scissors, right? And then ada proses simulasi, they get into this world, and then dia pun still nak kena buang sampah juga, tapi dia tak boleh communicate anymore. Sebab zaman tu tak ada bahasa, huha-huha je. Huha-huha. Then dia kena rock paper scissors, tapi they always end up buat batu je. Why? Because at that point of time, gunting dengan kain tak dicipta lagi. So this is the concept of Papa Pipi that we think that will be very interesting. We have pitched to certain broadcaster, and they said if you produce it, we're going to buy it, because it's hard to find an IP that can educate and entertain at the same time. This is what this is what we've been waiting for our fans. BoBoiBoy Galaxy season yang kedua. This is in animated form. Okay, so like I said just now, we're done with the pause for 4 or 5 years. Now it's time to go into BoBoiBoy G2. We call BoBoiBoy G2. We will animate the BoBoiBoy Galaxy season kedua in animation form. Okay, this is some of the things lah. So dalam BoBoiBoy comic, the way we do it, dia ada arc by arc. Dia ada arc quali, ada arc story. There's a lot more fusion, ada level ketiga. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do in 26 episodes, but in batches. So this is we're gonna still running through trials. What technology to be used. But definitely next year is the year of BoBoiBoy comeback, 2023. Like I said just now, MONSTA 3.0 must go beyond just animation. It's not enough only to do animation, just to announce a TV series, right? And the kids nowadays, and if you do, those of you who have kids, ada anak buah, it's not enough only to watch. They need to play. They need to be part of the world, right? So we're going to invest heavily into our digital experience, what we call this metaverse. It is a fancy term, but really for us at least, it is a world, a digital world where these kids can meet with each other and more importantly, to meet with their favorite characters. Instead of just watching, they can play with their favorite characters, right? So we're going to do Roblox. We just purchased a land during the pandemic a year ago, Sandbox. Now the land is valued at 4 million ringgit, a digital land, so in Sandbox, and also other areas as well. Physical is also important. The kids need to be stimulated in a way that Jump Coaster BoBoiBoy is going to play a big role. Continue with BoBoiBoy Galaxy Card and Figura as well. And in terms of comic, those who follow the comics, BoBoiBoy G3 will be in the form of comic, but then you can still follow the story of BoBoiBoy in BoBoiBoy G3. And BoBoiBoy G3 will eventually lead to BM3, BoBoiBoy movie yang ketiga. Okay, this is super program. When we pause BoBoiBoy, we start to realize that BoBoiBoy is more than just animation show. We need to reimagine BoBoiBoy because BoBoiBoy dah 10 tahun. Imagine the kids who watch BoBoiBoy when he is at 10. Sekarang 22 tahun. Kalau dia 14, sekarang dia dah 26 tahun. Some of our fans dah ada anak dah. Some of our fans dah start bekerja dengan kita pun ada. So now we have a dilemma, right? Our core audience is still 7 to 12, but we need to follow the growing up fans. So we need to think, how do we engage with them? How do we be part of still of their life? And for BoBoiBoy, it's more than a show because they grew up with BoBoiBoy. These are their childhood memory, the golden 10 years, right? And we want to turn BoBoiBoy into a lifestyle, into an icon, and definitely want to go beyond series and movies. So this is the first part of Super. We do Super, we imagine BoBoiBoy, what if BoBoiBoy pakai streetwear? How does it look like? And this is kembali identity. We launched it as part of Iklan Raya punya campaign, and we got 1.5 million views in one day. 1.5. And 3 days we got trending #1, and then kalahkan itu Ali Shukri. Ali Shukri is #1. We worked so hard to beat Ali Shukri, But unfortunately only 3 days. Why 3 days? Because we were under Copa, under YouTube, we are under children's shows. Children's shows tak boleh masuk trending. So, on the 4th day, they took it down, but the views is still great. And then it's also trending on not only Malaysia, in Twitter, YouTube, in Malaysia, Indonesia as well. And up to date, kembali activity is 100 million views up to date. And if you think about it, right, so this is during the Raya punya campaign and Puasa, this is the big brands, this is the big campaign, but we managed to get trending, we managed to get #1. That shows, even we were surprised, that's how strong BoBoiBoy brand is, because not only the character, because those who watch BoBoiBoy, they're only 20 years old. They're in the mid-20s right now. They are the one that watch, they are the one that connect with this BoBoiBoy. And then we believe that BoBoiBoy can be truly an icon, and we have to do more and more of Super program. And the next program we're going to do is with PUBG. Right? So this is where we reimagine BoBoiBoy. What if kalau BoBoiBoy besar? What if BoBoiBoy in different world? What if can BoBoiBoy be part of another IP? How do we do that, right? So we are very honored to be able to work with PUBG, and I believe there are a lot more exciting programs. And for those out there who think that BoBoiBoy is only a children's show, no, it's not. Because the BoBoiBoy, we have grown up the character, the storyline, but more importantly, the fans have grown up. So they are the one that, and then we have the program to follow them growing up as well. So BoBoiBoy is not just a children's show, it's more than that, it's becoming an icon. And MONSTA 3.0, we have to go, one of the biggest things is from entertainment, we need to go to experience. Experience meaning like this digital experience, playing games, going to metaverse. And every IP of us, BoBoiBoy, Mechamato, Papa Pipi, will have their own digital experiences as well. Because at the end of the day, for us, it's not only about technology, it's about behavior. The kids nowadays, we exchange business cards, they exchange Roblox ID. If you don't believe, you ask your kids, dia akan cakap Roblox ID kawan apa. Kejap lagi dia nak main Roblox. Dia tak jumpa kat playground anymore. Dia jumpa dekat Roblox dulu. Right? So they play together. This is similar to game, but in a way different as well. So we need to follow them into their world. This metaverse is not our world. This is their world and we need to be inside their world. And we're going to start with small projects, but effective. We're going to build on top of Roblox, the sandbox project, and also Minecraft if possible. This is MONSTA 3.0 timeline. Basically, this is what is our plan for the next few years. So we're going to start with Mechamato season yang pertama, that's 2021. Then kembali Idul, then is PUBG Mechamato season 2. There's the movie. We also have something for Papa, but this is not the time to reveal it yet. But definitely there's a series for Papa Pipi, BoBoiBoy G2, BoBoiBoy BMC. We do also have more than these 3 IPs. We have another project that we are still developing, and VXM as well. We are very committed. When we develop IP, for example like BoBoiBoy, we want to make it at least, the current BoBoiBoy is 76 episodes. The next BoBoiBoy, BG2, BG3, will consist of 52 episodes and 2 movies. Mechamato, minimum 52 episodes, 1 movie possible, another movie, right? Papa Pipi, minimum 78 episodes, and plus maybe a movie as well. So when we do this, our business, that's why we are here, to make sure that we can work together with you guys to grow our brands together and everyone can benefit from MONSTA planning. And why do this, right? So all this animation, business, getting headaches, production, the big why. For us, is the values. I grew up with the Western superheroes. I grew up with the Japanese superheroes. But we want to give a gift for our next generation. We want they have their own heroes, right? So they have their own BoBoiBoy, they have their own Mechamato. And for us, it's very surprising to watch and to learn from our growing up fans. They say that BoBoiBoy peneman dia waktu dia tengah sekolah dulu. BoBoiBoy adalah sumber positivity dalam kehidupan dia. For us, maybe it's just a cartoon. But even us, back then, we were very influenced by this cartoon. That's why right now, Marvel is so big as well, right? Because I grew up with them as well. So this is the future generation. We plant the seed now, and we need to plant not only business, but more importantly is the values. For BoBoiBoy, we want to focus on jati diri, kekuatan diri sendiri. Believe that you can be your own hero. You have your own hero. And super program, we want to focus on active and positive. And BoBoiBoy is a space concept, it's a space adventure. We believe we can go into science, space adventure as well. Mechamato, we are entering IR 4.0. We are learning AI. We are about machine learning. So we want the kids to they don't really learn directly from Mechamato, but we want them to be inspired, to get interested in technology through Mechamato. I imagine, and hopefully we can work with some of you to make Mechamato robotics program around not only the city areas, but the urban areas. Because I talked to one of the robotics program, they said there's a lot of rural kids, suburban, they really want to go into this robotics, but they didn't have a chance. So what if we develop a program, we can cungkil bakat dia, cungkilkan talent dia into robotics and buat dia minat creativity and innovation. And for Papa Pipi, again, it's early discovery. I'm sure Papa dan Mama dekat sini, kita pun pernah tanya, Mama kenapa bulan next ikut kita je? Right? Common question. Dinosaur wujud lagi ke Papa? Kenapa matahari tenggelam waktu malam Papa? Mama, So these are the questions that Papa Pipi will answer. We call it early discovery. And we will instill family values. Now, more than ever, family values are very important and need to be instilled through media, and I hope it can be done with Papa Pipi. We can go beyond than that. 3.0 is about these 3 IPs, but we do have plan for more IPs to come. But this is not the time and place yet, and hopefully we can work with you guys for MONSTA 3.0 and we can move further. Kalau dah tadika dah, primary school dah, sekolah menengah dah, we want to go university as well, right? So we have the ideas to go into the next stage, but for now, for the next few years, we're going to focus on 3.0, on these 3 IP, multiple form, multiple market as well. And I look forward to continue working and growing with you as well. And I thank you so much. And you have my email over there. You can mingle around later on. And I again thank you for coming to MONSTA Conference 2022. And I hope we can have a similar event next year and can meet you guys at the conference. Thank you so much.
Sekiranya anda enjoy menonton video ini, jangan lupa untuk like, share dan subscribe kepada BuzzPOP TV untuk lebih banyak video-video yang berkaitan dengan pop culture daripada komik, TV, filem, mainan dan juga banyak lagi. Majulah fandom untuk negara.